Hello and welcome to the Tech Lounge. So in this episode of Tech Lounge, I want to show you Quizlet. So either in Google or the URL bar at the top, type in Quizlet, enter, and this will bring you to the Quizlet main page or the link to the main page that I'll click on now. And here you'll see to get started with Quizlet. Now, it will ask you to sign up, and if you select sign up, you can either write in a name, a username, put in your education email or whatever email you wish, and a password. Alternatively, you can sign up using your Facebook account or Google account. Now, I signed up using my Google account because I made an education account with Google. So when I log in, I'll go click on Google. But for you guys, if you made that username and password, just log in there. Alternatively, use these depending on which you used. So I'm going to click on Google, and it's going to slowly log me in. So here I have Quizlet, the main homepage, and in the main homepage, I have a series of things to do. I could spend a good half hour showing you everything, but I don't want to do that. I'm just going to show you one of the basic things to do in Quizlet. But before I go on any further, I want to point out to you that some of the features, and this feature in particular I'm going to show you, is free. But to use many of the other features it has, and with full class groups, if you want them to use flashcards, etc., you'll normally have to pay for those type of features. So bear that in mind. You can look at that in your own time if you wished. But like I said, the thing I'm going to be showing you is one of the free things of Quizlet. So you've got two options here that we want to be paying attention to in this video. We have create and we have search. Now we could create a new quiz, and I'll show you that later, or we could search for one that's already been made. So I'm going to search for a quiz. In this case, I'm going to search for the heart, and it will bring up many quizzes that have already been made for the heart. Now, before I go on and show you one of these quizzes, the main reason why you'd want to use Quizlet over, say, Kahoot is because of its unique team quiz feature. And rather than explain it to you, I might show you a video to how that works in a moment. But before I do that, let's just show you some of these quizzes. So I'll look at this one. This one looks pretty good. And what's in here? Well, if you scroll down, you'll see all these cards, so to speak, or rows that have each of the questions in, and answers and pictures. So this gives you an idea of what's in the quiz, and you can say, oh, that's pretty good, I like that, I think this is a good quiz I'd like to use. So yes, I think I'll continue with this quiz. Now in order to start using this quiz in our special team mode, we're going to click on this live tile, the one at the very end. And then we'll start our quiz by clicking create game. But before we do, I'm going to show you this video of how exactly it works, and then I might stop the video every so often just to try and elaborate on anything that might not be as clear to understand. So I'm just going to go to full screen and press play.
Hi, I'm Thompson. I work here at Quizlet. Today we're going to show you our new in-class activity, Quizlet Live. Quizlet Live allows you to use your study sets in the classroom to help your students learn soft skills like teamwork and communication and hard vocabulary skills. I'm here in Quizlet's office with our team. We love to test our products before we ship it out to all of you. Today, the team are my students. Say hi, team.
Hi, Mr. A.
We're going to show you what Quizlet Live will look like in your classroom. Every student will need a computer or a mobile device. First, we'll select Live Study Mode, and then click Create Game. So my teacher computer is telling the students to type Quizlet.live into their web browser. Quizlet Live works with a mix of devices, so any student should be able to join in no time, just by entering the 6-digit code above. As students join, you can see the student count and the names of students who have joined. It's important to encourage your students to type in their real names. That way, they can easily find their team at the next step. If one of your students types in a nonsensical name, you can easily click to scratch it out and then have your student re-enter their name. Quizlet Live creates random teams of 3 to 4 students. This helps students who normally don't talk to each other learn to work and communicate together.
So yeah, it will place students, as he says, into teams and randomly mix them up. But again, you can click on the Shuffle Teams button if perhaps those teams don't seem appropriate.
Now our students will move around to get into their teams.
So this is the point where Quizlet probably works best if the students are on laptops and not necessarily their desktop computers. So yes, they'll move around the classroom with their laptop, iPhone, or tablet device, or Android device, and then sit with their group.
Teams will need to communicate to pick the right term and work closely together to get each question right.
So rather than him explain this in detail, I think I'll do it on this part. But basically, on each of their screens, you'll just notice there are 3 columns. And in each one of those columns, there might be 3 or 4 answers. Now, each person has the same question on their screen, but each person has a different answer. So, for example, let's say we were looking at the atrium on the heart. And this particular question had an arrow pointed into the atrium on the heart. In this case, if the question was label or name this section of the heart, this person here may have all answers for many other things, but they won't have the answer atrium. This person may have the answer atrium. So they're looking on each other's screens and then communicating to one another saying, I think you have the answer there on your screen, which says atrium. Hopefully you'll show that in the next part of the video.
We find that Quizlet Live works really well for introducing new material and final reviews before assessments. My teacher computer is now...
This part's pretty cool as well. So on the main screen or on the whiteboard, you'll see the numbers going up of the answers that the students get right. And obviously then you'll see that there's a race happening between students to try and get those answers correct as quickly as possible. There is a catch though. If a team gets one answer wrong, this automatically resets to 0 and they have to start again. So there is an urgency to try and get the answers correct as quickly as possible, but there's also an urgency to try and get them correct in the first place, because slow and steady sometimes wins the race. Now, when it does go back to 0, they're presented with the same questions again. So it's that reinforcement of those questions to try and get those right answers again. And sometimes that repetition helps with student learning.
Now projecting the leaderboard. The first team to 12 wins. However, one wrong answer will send you back to the start. Oh, sorry, snakes. Congratulations, penguins.
Yeah, and then obviously with this, as you can tell here, we'll use that.
As soon as the game is over, we can review how the whole class did. We can see what terms they learned by playing the game, terms they regularly missed, and terms they know by heart.
So yeah, this is a great form of assessment in terms of finding out where perhaps students are at their weakest as a whole group, so you can focus then on reviewing that topic later. So yeah, as I'd said earlier, Quizlet is somewhat different to Kahoot in that it forces people to work in teams, and then they'll all have different answers to the one question. So you all have to be looking at each other's screen to try and get that correct answer. Let's have a look at creating a game though from the teacher's side. So I'm going to create a game, and I'm going to set which combination of prompts and answers you like your students to see. So you can, in this case, you can have the definition and term, largest veins in the body, or term and definition. So you can tell the different setups there. I'm just going to set the first one, for example. And here's the number. The students join, and then from this point on, I have no students to join, but from this point on, what would happen is this screen here would then turn into that bar you saw earlier, where you'd see the different teams, and as they get the questions right, and they're racing to reach the end. So that's the basics there of Quizlet and its uses and why you might want to use this over, say, Kahoot. That was in terms of searching for a quiz, but there's also that special create feature as well. Now the create feature is pretty simple to follow along, so I won't spend too long on this, but you'll simply type in whatever the topic may be and a title, and then you have different things here. You can actually import a quiz you may have made from Word or Excel or Google Docs. You can make this quiz visible to everyone, or you can also only have it editable by certain people. So maybe everyone can see your quiz, but it's only editable by you. Or you can have it editable by the class. So classes can get involved in making their own quiz. Over here we have some little descriptive icons and nothing really that significant. So here we can add a picture to our Quizlet quiz for the main title, so to speak, or display image. Now to do that on the web site, you click on the box and then it will bring up the folders on your computer, and you just simply select which picture you want and select open, and then that image will be added here. If you're using the apps or anything, then we have features similar to that, and you can actually select them from your photos folder on your phone or tablet device. Underneath here, we have the term, which is the question. We have the definition, which essentially relates to the answer. And you'll notice, though, that on the term, there's a little microphone at the end. That's where you can add a recording to your term, your question. So rather than you write it in, you can actually record your voice to say whatever it is your question may be. And over here, same principle. You have the microphone, but you also have an image as well. So you can have the image, is this the, as we were talking about before, the left atrium, and there's be a picture of the heart, picture of the atrium, and you'd say yes or no, for example. You also notice here you have choose language, which may be useful for taking a language class. So you can write in English, having another language as the answer. So that's pretty much it. It's very simple to use. One last thing, actually, there is a trash can, so you can delete that card if you don't want it anymore. And you'll just scroll through and keep adding and adding and adding. It gives you 5 as a default, but then you can select add card, and it'll give you another one, and so on, until you feel as though you've written enough there for the students to answer. So I'll give you a quick example here. Let's say, what is a drug? And you could type it in, or if you wish, you can even do stuff like this. I'm going to go to Google. Drugs already highlighted there for me. And I could take this. This one's normally a good one. So a drug is any substance other than food or water that can physically change and psychologically change the body, yes. And here we have it. So I can just copy and paste an answer in. Saves me a bit of time. You may have it written down somewhere else. And off you go. And again, like I said, I can click the mic. But as I said, some of these features you have to pay for, and it appears that just from my own exploration here, in order to do that, you do have to pay for it. But on the basic feature, at least, you can just add in a question and an answer. And I hope this pretty much helps here with the basics of Quizlet Live and using it in Teams. Please have a go in your classroom. If you do have a go, it'd be great to hear your feedback and how it went. And hopefully this helps teach your students any particular subject that you're taking through at the time.